Good evening. Welcome to the day 46 of our UGC-NET Paper I class. So today we are entering into the Unit 2. That too in chronological order we are entering in the 9th unit. So almost we are near to the end where we are going to close our class. So in today's class we will enter the Unit 2, that is research aptitude. In that, research meaning, types and characteristics. We'll see through this. Okay, so first, what is research meaning? So I think you have a clear-cut idea on how research is working, or what is research. So, but in general, research in common parlance reference to a search for knowledge. So now if we take a dictionary meaning, so the Advanced Learner's Dictionary of Current English lays down the meaning of research as a careful investigation or inquiry, especially through search for new facts in any branch of knowledge. So here another one person, that is Clifford Woody. According to him, research comprises defining and redefining problems, formulating hypotheses or suggested solutions, collecting, organizing and evaluating data, making deductions and reaching conclusions, and at last carefully testing the conclusions to determine whether they fit the formulating hypothesis. So we are just researching. So we are repeatedly searching the thing, or we are again searching. So that is the meaning for research. Now moving on to types of research. Actually, in types of research, there are so many types are there according to the C.R. Kothari book and other things. So here we have categorized on certain aspects. First is based on purpose. So based on purpose, research is classified as pure research, applied research. Based on purpose, it is classified as pure research, applied research, prescriptive research, and futuristic research. So based on approach and methodology, it is classified as quantitative, qualitative, and synthetic. Now, based on nature and design, so we have another 7 more types. So we will see what is what in each of the slides. So again, all these 7 I have categorized into a pairs. So one is somewhat opposite of the other. So pure research and applied research, historical and futuristic, analytical and synthetic, descriptive and prescriptive, survey, experimental, qualitative, quantitative, case study, general. This is also known as generic. So, what is pure research? Pure research, also known as basic or fundamental research, it is mainly conducted to expand knowledge and understanding without any immediate practical application. So, it is driven by a desire to expand knowledge. So, we are searching in the any data in Google or Wikipedia, whatever, no? So all those things, we are more like searching for understanding the concept or learning extra knowledge. So that kind of searching itself could be called as pure research. So what are the characteristics? It focuses on the theoretical concepts and principles, seeks to answer fundamental questions, often curiosity driven with no specific end goal or application in mind, and lastly, the examples like studies exploring the properties of subatomic particles, the origins of the universe, or the nature of certain chemical reactions. So these are the pure research. Now, applied research. Applied research is a type of scientific investigation that particularly aims to solve practical problems or answer specific questions related to real world issues. So whatever the data which we obtain or the result which we obtain can be applied to the real world, then that particular research could be called as applied research. So applied research often involves collaboration across different disciplines. So it is more of an iterative process. Iterative means so you guys know iterative. So iterative என்னன்னா உங்களுக்கு மேக்ஸ்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து இப்போ உதாரணத்துக்கு 1 அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து நீங்க கூட வந்து 1.5. இப்ப நம்ம சிம்பிள் எக்ஸாம்பிளா சொல்லணும்னா காம்பவுண்ட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்னு ஒண்ணு இருக்கு பாத்தீங்களா, ஒரு கான்செப்ட். அந்த கான்செப்ட் தான் உங்களுக்கு அதே மாதிரியே 1 + 0.5 அப்புறம் அது கூட வந்து ஒன்னா அதை வச்சே வந்து ஆட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே போகும்போது இருக்கிற எக்ஸிஸ்டிங்க கம்ப்ளீட்டா ஒமிட் பண்ணாம கூட வந்து கூட்டு வட்டி மாதிரி நம்ம அதாவது காம்பவுண்ட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் நம்ம எப்படி கால்குலேட் பண்ணுவோம், ஒரு அமௌண்ட் இருக்கும் அது கூட ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வரும், தென் அந்த அமௌண்ட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்டையும் சேர்த்து நம்ம இப்ப அகைன் இதுக்கு வந்து டோட்டலா வட்டி கால்குலேட் பண்ணுவோம். அப்படி போகும்போது நம்மளுக்கு போகும் சேம் அந்த ப்ராசஸே வந்து இட் குட் பி கால்ட் அஸ் iterative process. So here where findings from one study may inform the design of subsequent studies or interventions. So நம்ம எடுக்கிற கூகுள் ஸ்காலர் எல்லாத்துலயுமே நம்ம எடுக்கிற டேட்டா, all the data which we obtain or the literature which we obtain determines on how we are going to proceed with our own research study. So here the characteristics are problem solving orientation, application of knowledge, relevance to stakeholders, then immediate impact, interdisciplinary approach, lastly iterative process. So இதெல்லாம் தான் applied research. Now prescriptive research. So prescriptive research na it aims to provide recommendations or guidance for action. So it is concerned with more like advice. So அதுக்கு என்ன மெத்தட் யூஸ் பண்றாங்க? Methods can vary widely and may include simulations, decision analysis, modeling. உங்களுக்கு சிமுலேஷன்ஸ்னா என்னன்னு தெரியுமா? அது கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா?
ப்ராப்ளமா?
இல்ல, சிமுலேஷன் நம்ம இதுல கூட வந்து கைண்ட் ஆஃப் கேம் மாதிரி இருக்கும். சிமுலேஷன்ன்றது என்னன்னா ஒரு லேப் செட்டப்ல ரியல் வேர்ல்டு மாதிரியே வந்து எக்ஸ்பீரியன்சஸ் உண்டாக்குவாங்க. உதாரணத்துக்கு நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ற 4 வீலர்ஸ், ஏன்னா ஐ டோன்ட் நோ அபவுட் 2 வீலர்ஸ், 4 வீலர்ஸ் அண்ட் ட்ரக்ஸ் அண்ட் பெரிய வகைகள் போக போக அதோடைய டிசைன்ல ஏதாவது சேஞ்ச் பண்றாங்கன்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அந்த டிசைனை வந்து ஒரு சாஃப்ட்வேர்ல அவங்க ரன் பண்ணுவாங்க. ரன் பண்ணி ரியல் லைஃப்ல எப்படிலாம் இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அதே மாதிரி டெமோ வீடியோ நம்மளுக்கு புரியுற மாதிரி சொல்லலாம், டெமோ வீடியோ மாதிரி என்னென்ன மாதிரியான பிரச்சனைகள் வரலாம் அப்படின்னு அவங்க டெமோ இது பண்ணுவாங்க. அப்படி அவங்க ரன் பண்ணி அதுல வரக்கூடிய எரர்ஸை சார்ட் அவுட் பண்ணிட்டு தான் ஃபைனல் ப்ரொடக்ஷனுக்கே போவாங்க. ஸோ சிமுலேஷன், ரியல் லைஃப் சிமுலேஷன், அதாவது நிஜத்துல இருக்கிற மாதிரியே உருவாக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு ஆர்டிபிஷியல் திங், செயற்கையான இது வெர்ச்சுவல் வேர்ல்டு மாதிரி. ஸோ அதுதான் வந்து சிமுலேஷன்ஸ். இப்போ இந்த சிமுலேஷன்ஸ்ல அவங்களுக்கு பெரும்பாலும் வந்து என்ன மாதிரியான பிரச்சனைகள் வரும் ஒரு டிசைன்ல அப்படின்றது தெளிவா தெரிஞ்சிடும். ஸோ வென் தே ஆர் மேக்கிங் ஏர்கிராஃப்ட் டிசைன் ஆர் வெஹிக்கிள் கார் டிசைன், ஸோ ஹவு த ஏர் ஃப்ளோஸ், ஸ்கிட் ஆகுமா, டோர் டேமேஜ் ஆகுமா, இது எல்லாமே வந்து அவங்க அந்த ஒரு சிமுலேஷன் டிசைன்ல கண்டுபிடிச்சுக்குவாங்க. இது கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுனால இன் டெசிஷன் அனாலிசிஸ், மாடலிங் அண்ட் அதர் திங்ஸ் தே கேன் minimize the production cost and increase the performance and efficiency. So that is known as simulation. So the research which use such kind of simulations and decision analysis is known as prescriptive research. So the primary purpose is to guide decision makers by offering prescriptions or suggestions. நம்மளுக்கு சிம்பிளா நம்ம சொல்லணும்னா, இப்ப நீங்க வந்து ஒரு நீங்க உங்களுக்கு பர்சனல் எக்ஸாம்பிளே சொல்லலாம். இப்ப நீங்க லேப்டாப் வாங்குறதுக்கு முன்னாடி நீங்க என்னென்ன மாதிரியான விஷயங்கள் பண்ணுவீங்க? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் உங்களுடைய பட்ஜெட்டை நீங்க இது பண்ணுவீங்க. அந்த பட்ஜெட், அதுக்கப்புறம் உங்க என்ன மாதிரியான கம்பெனி, அதுல நீங்க ஆன்லைன்ல எவ்வளவு வருது, ஆஃப்லைன்ல ஷாப்ல எவ்வளவு வருது, தெரிஞ்சவங்க என்ன வச்சிருக்காங்க, இந்த மாதிரி எல்லா விஷயமும் நீங்க இது பண்ணும் போது ஸோ அத்தனை விஷயங்களும் வந்து நீங்க ஃபைனலா டிசைட் பண்றதுக்காக யூ ஆர் மேக்கிங் சச் டெசிஷன். ஸோ once you use all kind of such data to make a decision, the research which you carried out for obtaining such data, that is known as prescriptive research. So now futuristic research, this is also in my opinion somewhat similar to the prescriptive research, but the main thing in prescriptive research, it is it is solely focused on the immediate decision making. So like I said, no, so உங்களுக்கு வந்து you bought a laptop, so you analyzed certain reviews and immediately you bought the laptop. That is at the maximum you took 1 month or 2 months. But here futuristic analysis, this is mostly focused on the share markets nowadays, because when we are investing in a certain type of shares, we need to understand the performance capability of that particular share in the future. So whether the value will increase or not. நம்மளுக்கு காமனா தெரிஞ்சது, we use commonly to invest on gold, because we mostly sure about the increasing price of gold. So we automatically invest our money in the gold. We buy jewels or invest in gold stocks, all those things. But for that we are using some research now. Similarly, whenever a new company is opening a branch in a particular area or entering into the product, new launching of new product, they are analyzing the possibility of that particular product performance. So futuristic research, also known as speculative or foresight research, this involves the exploration of potential scenarios, developments and trends that may occur in the future. So the purpose of futuristic research is to help individuals, organizations and societies prepare for and adapt to potential future challenges and opportunities. So before COVID-19, we might not have an idea about such a large pandemic, but even the example of a lockdown itself, at the time of first lockdown, so many people got struggled to survive, more like survive in the daily basis. But by the time of second and third lockdown, everyone has some idea on how to manage that. So there was not much trouble when compared with the first lockdown. So that's how we are getting some data, and when it is again repeating or newly coming up, so we are ready for that such challenges. So because of that, futuristic research is needed. Now we are entering into the quantitative data. So in the previous class itself I have given more definition, and also you know that. So quantitative research focuses on measuring, quantifying and testing relationships using numerical data and statistical analysis. So if you are able to quantify anything, excuse me, if you are able to quantify anything, that is in terms of numbers, that particular data is known as quantitative data. And if you are using that particular data to conduct a research, then that is a quantitative research. So quantitative research is deductive and aims to quantify relationships, test hypotheses and generalize findings to larger populations. So how they are obtaining the data, that they conduct experiments, surveys and statistics, all those things. So here analysis, quantitative data are analyzed using statistical techniques to identify patterns, relationships and statistical significance. So why they are doing it? They are doing it, the quantitative research, to test hypothesis, establish cause and effect relationships and make predictions. So now we are moving on to the qualitative research. So qualitative research, see here, qualitative and quantitative are two primary approaches to research, but they differ in their methods, data types and purposes. So what here they are focusing means, they are focusing on exploring and understanding complex phenomena, often using non-numerical data and interpretive analysis. So here numerical data and statistical analysis, here non-numerical data and interpretive analysis. So it is more like exploratory, seeks to understand the underlying meanings, patterns and complexities of human experiences, behavior and phenomena. So this they will follow the interviews, focus groups, participant observation and content, all those things, content analysis and all. So what they are doing, actually why they are doing here also. See, here they are doing the quantitative research to test hypothesis, but here they are using it to generate hypothesis and explore a phenomena in depth. So provide rich context specific insights. So qualitative data solely focusing on the understand the behavioral pattern. So we can say assume that the particular how best to say why they are purchasing. So if I am mentioning suddenly if I am going to say the term toothpaste, the first thing or the first company or first brand that comes to your mind is immediately embedded. So we can do a research why that particular brand comes to your mind or embedded in your brain, so that it is given utmost importance. So this analysis could be made use to understand how it is being done. Next, synthetic research. So synthetic research means it involves the combination of or synthesis of various elements to create a new whole or to develop a comprehensive understanding. So what are all the characteristics? Focuses on integration and synthesis to create a holistic view of system or problem. So this particularly emphasizes creativity, innovation and construction of new ideas. So what they are doing means they are starting with specific observations or data points and developing broader theories or concepts. So இதில் வந்து என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா first thing here they are numerical data and doing statistical analysis, then they are arriving at a conclusion by testing the hypothesis or they are establishing a relationship. Here they are using the non-numerical data and interpreting, so the analysis would be interpretive, and they are arriving at the in-depth understand of the particular phenomena. But here they are merging, you can assume it as both itself. They are merging two different concepts into one, and then they are trying to understand a different concept which formed by the merging of two. So they want to understand how it would be like that. So that is the main thing. So here they are emphasizing creativity, innovation and the construction of new ideas. So this is synthetic research. Now historical research. See, historical research and like I said, no, see in the slides I am just repeatedly showing. So like I said, no, here these are either opposite or somewhat closely related. So pure is opposite of applied, historical is opposite of futuristic, and analytic is opposite of synthetic. So like that, qualitative opposite of quantitative. So here historical research, why it is being done means it is mainly used or done to analysis of a particular event or phenomena that is occurred in the past. So many things nowadays, அதாவது நம்ம அகழ்வாராய்ச்சி now the archaeological surveys and all those things they are doing, no, in Indus Valley civilization, even in Tamil Nadu, Kiradi and all those things, no. So we are excavating and understanding by doing a historical research, so that we come to an idea about how any particular thing is being performed during the days where the technological implications would be minimal. So here how they are using it means they are using a variety of methods including archival research, oral history interviews, analysis of primary and secondary sources and historical interpretation. So the purpose of historical research is often to preserve the record of human experiences, so and then learn from the past and provide a foundation for understanding the present. So one simple thing we can say is the dam, Kallanai Dam. It was built by King Karigala Chola in the 2nd century. Now we are in the 21st century. Till now, with slight additions, other than that, the particular dam still is working efficiently and stands without any damage. But even with the high efficient technology with what we have now, we cannot build a, or we could not build a such strong dam or any kind of architecture. So when historians or even civil architects are trying to analyze the complexity of the procedure which was used to build the particular dam, so what they are trying to do means they are analyzing the materials, and at mostly they are more of predicting rather than particularly analyzing, because the methods, so many people are saying something. So even I have heard about, it was similar to the in a movie Ayirathil Oruvan, no, the movie which Karthi and other actors. So there they will roll down the big stones. It will enter the ground at one part. So consecutive rolling of such stones are embedded and formed into a strong basement. That is one theory. And second theory is, when we place something on the flowing of water, the flow of water will erode the soil underneath of anything we have placed. So likewise, similarly, the when stones are rolled down, the running or flowing of the river erodes the particular soil beneath the stones, so that the stones automatically get submerged into the river bed, and then they formed as a basement of for the building of the dam. So here itself we do get two theories. We exactly don't know how it is done. Still, so many contemplations are there, but this is how historical research is working. Now, descriptive research. So here again see descriptive and prescriptive. So they are particularly done in the field of social sciences, businesses and decision making. So this particular descriptive research aims to describe and explain what exists or is happening. So it describes it is concerned with describing the characteristics or behaviors of a phenomenon without manipulating the variables. So the primary purpose is to answer the questions related to what, who, where and when. So it helps in providing a snapshot or a detailed picture of a situation or phenomenon. So how they are doing by surveys, observation studies, case studies and all those things. So this is descriptive research. Now analytical research. So this is more by the term itself, analysis. So we are involving a examination and interpretation of information and data to understand and solve complex issues or problems. So we are focusing on a specific problem or question, and then we are analyzing that particular data. So here the characteristics of this particular analytical research is emphasizing the analysis of data and information, seeks to address specific problems or challenges, has a practical and applied orientation. So they have given certain examples: market research to understand consumer behavior, policy analysis to inform decision makers, or investigations into the causes of a specific phenomenon. In Switzerland, there is a laboratory named as CERN. There they are testing the particles. I think the exact name, I think photons. Not sure about that. I have forgot the name. So there they are bombarding the particles through a long tunnel with so many equipments. There, that particular flow of that particles are tested regularly to understand the emergence of even to some extent universe itself. The scientists are assuming that particular particles to be, it is called as God particles. So that particular particles are they are assuming it as that particular particles are the basis of the formation of our universe where we are living. We are also a component of that particular particles. So that is the analytical research. So they are analyzing the particular specific thing. Now, survey research. Survey research and experimental research are two distinct methods employed in social science and other research fields. So the goal of survey research is to gather information and opinions from a sample of individuals to describe, compare or explain aspects of a population or phenomenon. So they commonly use questionnaires, interviews or other data collection tools to collect responses from participants. So what are the characteristics? Often involves a large sample size to generalize finding or to a larger population. Then focusing on self-reported data such as opinions, attitudes, behaviors or demographic information. So here descriptive analysis and correlation analysis are common in survey research. So we are taking a survey through questionnaires and that is known as survey research. Next, case study research. So case study research is that even survey you are analyzing a phenomenon, but here in that phenomenon itself you are either analyzing a particular event or a particular sample which is involved there. So you are in-depthly analyzing that particular event. So here commonly we understand about a case study because a company's success or loss. We are thoroughly studying how they are done, how they are doing. So it is more like a making video. You can assume it is like that. So in movies and all they are giving a making video, no? So it is more like that. So how they have started, how they have ended, and what was the result. So here we have an in-depth examination of a specific instance, situation or individual. So case studies are often used to explore real life situations, generate hypotheses or illustrate complex phenomenon. So that is case study research. Now comes general or generic research. So the term generic research is not standard in research methodology discussions, but general research can involve both quantitative and qualitative methods depending on the research question and objectives. So what is the purpose of this? Why they are doing this? Here, general research seeks to advance knowledge within a particular field, answering research questions, testing hypotheses, or exploring new areas of inquiry. So that's all I think of experimental research. Then experimental research aims to establish cause and effect relationships by manipulating variables under controlled conditions. So all the science experiments, science lab experiments, we can call it as a experimental research. So here it involves the manipulation of variables to assess their impact on outcomes. So typically experimental and control groups to compare the effects of the manipulated variables. So you might now see that so many things are repeated in each of the research. So like I said, actually these are based on categories of instead of types, it should have been categories of research. So here we are categorizing that particular research based on certain aspects. So each could be coming under one thing. At the same time, they are interrelated. So here experimental research could be, general research could be quantitative and qualitative. Either any one of them, or could be both. So likewise, here all the research types are categorized and interrelated. So like I said, this is one is the opposite of other. Pure is opposite of applied, not exactly opposite, but they do have a somewhat different side of their meaning and interrelated. So you assume a coin which have two sides. One side is pure means one side is applied, one side is historical means one side futuristic. So based on certain aspects, they are categorized as that. So then now moving on to the characteristics of research. So characteristics of research, first, a research is a systematic one. So why? Because it follows a defined sequence of steps. In the, I think next class or the next class, we will see about the steps of research. So here, any research would follow a defined sequence of steps, which is problem identification, literature review, hypothesis, data collection, analysis, and conclusion. Then it would be objective and logical. So objective means free from any personal bias, based on evidence and reasoning. Then empirical. Empirical means based on observable and measurable evidence. We can find it easily. Then replicable. If I am taking a data from a book, that particular book can be used by another researcher to conduct the same research at different time period, or even a different research for upgrading of my research. So that is the main thing. It is empirical and replicable. So other researchers should be able to reproduce the results under similar conditions. Next, it is controlled. So this is especially for the scientific research, where variables are controlled to isolate cause and effect relationships. Then all the data are verifiable. So data and procedures must be transparent and open to verification. Then critical thinking. So when we obtain a data and we are arriving at a conclusion, that particular conclusion should involve a rigorous analysis and evaluation of information. And then analytical. So it have to be break down complex problems into simpler components. When I am having so in simple terms, this could be called as our theoretical framework of our research. Then purposeful. Any research should contribute to the body of knowledge or solving a problem. Other than that, if you are doing, it could not be called as a research. Then lastly, accuracy and precision. So requires careful measurement and reporting of data. We have to have a very keen and observing capacity to acquire a particular set of data without any mishappening or any bias. So these are the characteristics of research. So these are the bibliographies. So that's all.